All right, everybody, let's get to it. Thursday, giveaway Thursday. First person that typed gold was Ivan Vasquez. So, Ivan, you win a gold membership, and we'll give away a couple more today because we give away stuff every Thursday. And let's just get right to it. Go to harmonictrader.com. If you do win anything, you need to contact Miss Stephanie on the Discord and become a basic member. Access all that information on the basic members page. And again, everything we're doing is going to be here with the TradingView software. Send your TradingView username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. Now, I'm going to put a link in because there's also something I want to talk about, but I can't believe I'm not able to open the program right now. I wanted to show you guys the options chart, but I'm not able to access it without having to restart. So I'll save that for Tuesday. But if you want to get on the eSignal program as well as a free tryout where you can get a paid options feed and do harmonic patterns on options, I'll show a couple images I've been generating in the Discord this morning on some things that worked out. But click on that link for SR-Analyst. Also, get with the eSignal program, and you can try that. That's an advanced software program where I run 3 platforms. So I run TradingView on a couple of screens. I run eSignal as a desktop, and then I'll run MetaTrader as well. So here's the eSignal program. And we'll work with this principally today. Again, I'll push the options. Sorry, I just, as soon as I was logging in and starting the stream, the program wouldn't generate. So, but I've got a lot to talk about today because of what's happening in the major markets. Here's Nvidia, but you folks know I've been saying been saying Meta, Microsoft, Netflix, and Amazon and Google, and they are now rocking. So let's start just dig into there because how far are these going to go? I mean, something like Meta, okay, just another daily continuation at a pretty high level where we've talked about the big patterns in the big mega tech, and they're spot on. I mean, they were mega low signals back in October. Some overran the level slightly, but that's fine. Ever since then, I mean, it's been on a rope. 242.14 for Meta, target one off of that crab. The daily crab, which is grabs it. Actually, it's a little bit bigger formation, but that's around 251. I think 242 to 252 is not a bad target on this move. Market's up again today. S&P was actually up a lot more this morning. Same with the NASDAQ. And just a lot of follow through. Before I jump into the stocks, let's go to the new biggest chart, macro chart in the world, which is no longer the SPY. It's now the QQQ. So let's shift everything to the QQQ because this has larger implications. And just you can look at our session from Tuesday or even the last week. Ever since that HSI arrow, that was a continuation, said we're going to go higher. And I did a market report for members, really broke it down. So if you're a gold member, go to the gold members page and look at that report because it is unfolding exactly as we laid it out. And I put that up last week. It's just a question of where does this terminate? 335. 338, these were all critical numbers. We're almost there. I'm more inclined to think, go off this daily shark and go as high as 346.83 as a target one. That's also a 50% retracement of the entire bear market from last year. So bump those Qs, the targets on the Qs, to the 345 346 level for the summer. I think it's, that's absolutely spot on. Looking good. And you're seeing that in Microsoft, Amazon, Google, where their larger targets are within reach. Also, there was a pattern here on the Qs on the weekly. There was. Where was the pattern? Did I lose it? Was it monthly? Well, daily. I'll come back to that. But these big patterns, I think the number one takeaway, things like Microsoft. Now 317 approaching 320. Yes, we have a bearish bat that's getting published, but I've been saying this goes as high as 330, 340 on this move. And then we'll deal with it. But at the moment, nothing there, no confirmation, no bearish confirmation, that is. And if anything, the fact that we've turned back up on Microsoft in this kind of a manner is strong. In a bearish zone, you're turning up. You're going to make a run for the hop. Run it, gun it. These things are moving. And I think they're under-owned. People, look, doesn't matter what the patterns were back here. I mean, 221, 75 on Microsoft scraped the low. There was a bunch of these patterns. As most of you who are regulars who are here, know the situation on these mega cap techs that were getting thrown out last fall and then put in major patterns. So let this be a lesson. And again, the weekly chart from Microsoft is probably the leader to follow from a harmonic pattern perspective, because look, we're going to run for the 886, but this thing is doing it in a strong fashion. 2023 is being a monster year. And if we were just putting this chart up for any time frame, we'd say, well, at this point, connect the dots. And again, I've showed this a few times before, where the only thing above this bearish pattern that failed and the target 2, which was 297, is a shark that goes above the 886, but more like to a 1.0. The 1618 minimum is like I said, 340, 342. 886 is 335, but I expect that to overshoot with the way that's connected. So you still can shoot this gap on the move. It's going to, and these are minimum targets. We're not even entertaining possibility of breakouts. Anyone talking about a breakout, all-time new highs? What if Microsoft goes to all-time new highs? Then, and I've said this before, then what was last year other than what I think is ultimately a BC leg in a monthly or even quarterly? You could do it like this. You know, we could just generally say it's something like, you know, AB. Is this a new bull market for Microsoft? Well, if it is, you go to at least a 2.0 because your B point was only 40%, roughly. Certainly a 1618 on the weekly breakout. That's, you know, that's 440. And these are numbers that you probably need to hear to believe. But look at this on a monthly chart. And HSI is now going to trigger for May. That was the last signal. Okay, the last signal is bullish HSI. The only thing I can imagine is go back, retest that dot, which was remarkable that that dot ended up being the short-term peak. Check it out. There's the bearish HSI, but eventually the dot confirmation, the second bar was all the way there. I would say it's spot on. Microsoft here just starting to trigger the beginning of a monthly, quarterly trigger. It's probably been, 2002 was the last time we saw a quarterly trigger. Quarterly. So that stuff matters. Yeah, I look, you have to go with the framework. The narrative has been brutal. It was brutal at the low. It's still brutal. There's still people looking for a bear market, a recession. I think those are just, that's for talk for people not trading. These are major trend movers. The other one is Meta, and then quickly I'll do Amazon and Google because they have a way to go. As a show, already went through Meta. We know the deal on Meta. And Meta's a 5-minute setup. It's a 5-minute setup right now. In the pre-market, there's your 5-minute. But here's the 1-minute pattern intraday right now. I wanted to show you guys a whole bunch of back-to-back stuff. I'm really bummed I can't access this e-signal thing. It's not opening up. Save that for Tuesday. I wanted to show some charts with the options. But even if you're day trading the stock outright, I mean, it's 1-minute chart. This thing's bouncing, ping-ponging, level to level, pattern to pattern. For today, looks like we're going to come back in for the final type 2 retest, come back down, and that would be 2 of 2 across several intraday patterns, and then do a run into the afternoon. Basically, looking to target the hop, I think, at 244. That's something to think about for today. Microsoft has been a burner too, almost at 320. Amazon almost at 120. Amazon's probably the one that is now in full catch-up mode. Was as high as 118.50. Okay, I look, despite that pullback, that consider that pullback on a 1 minute basis a gift. A gift. That's and look, there's a nice deep crab right at the top. Maybe it comes down to target one. Okay, at 115. But there's been some nice patterns. And all you need to do is spot up some 5 minute continuation structures like that. And that's what I've been doing for the last few weeks on Meta and Microsoft. Probably the thing I should be considering is maybe holding some of these, maybe holding a fraction of the position. I've caught some moves intraday, but I tend to sell them same day. But with this kind of movement and understanding where Amazon is, quite frankly, there you go. I mean, Amazon with that daily huge bat pattern, weekly bat pattern, and that's a continuation bat, meaning within the long-term uptrend, that's a massive bullish continuation signal within that uptrend where 122.40 is absolutely the target for now until you, and still up until you get there. And this is the stuff I've been saying for a while. I mean, it really is been coming together where in the last week or 2 weeks, now you're seeing things move. You're seeing things, people flood back in where consolidation phase, digestion phase over, and now we go back to longer term accumulation. And there were the patterns we had. There's the patterns we had on Amazon right at the low. Now we have a bearish pattern, but no confirmation yet. So again, you're still, look, you've come a long way, but you're still going to go higher as long as things like that persist. Maybe that rolls over in a couple of sessions, and another, maybe by Monday or Tuesday, that starts to roll over. But you're expanding in an overbought condition. The other one, again, many of you know Google, and we've really been on that since like 93 bucks. And this is where these kind of things can take off. Here we are chasing a hop level. So maybe as high as 125, but as I said last time we spoke, we did look at this on Tuesday. The strength of this, the breakout, the follow through, bullish candle after bullish candle straight on through. There's no bearish trade there until I either see a bearish candle, bearish confirmation. And so when you're doing that, or you're looking at these kind of formations, let's say you're long and you're, which I am, and I'm looking for a target to get out down here in at around 93. This is telling me strength. I'm going to still favor as high as 125 and hope that that gets blown out. But nothing there says sell yet. It just, even though you have a bearish pattern, still quite early. The Google has, yeah, here's the Google weekly chart. And again, software kicked out another great pattern. Down at 86. And I think target 2 at 125.88. We could tag that as a minimum on this move. So, look, you've come this far. You've seen Microsoft blow out its target 2. How about Apple? And this was a 2 of 2. Okay, because here's, you had the type 1 on the weekly. That was from last year. And then it came perfectly back for the retest. 2 of 2. And we're gunning on those situations, you're looking for 160. So where's the first confirmation after that? It's a little higher, 168, but check back, still no yellow dot. And let's see what happens. You're real close from doing something, I think, epic. If Apple breaks out, you're above 184, 185. Then people are going to just start looking at that as saying, yeah, okay, I missed that correction on Apple. And this is a high level bat pattern. We break out from here. This bat pattern is just going to be one of those that you've seen in past history where it's just a continuation. It was a pause, came back, continuation. It held absolutely where it needed to hold. 125 was the edge, and it held that back in November. And nothing really here until full retest. You're at the 886 right now. 886 on Apple is, where is that exactly? At 176. But this breakout that's coming will not be anything but a minimum 1618. And so that puts Apple, 220. 220. Yep. So we're going to see that happen this summer. I mean, not go straight to 220, but you're going to see the breakout. You're going to see the development. You're going to see this stuff really threaten the longer term time frames where people will wake up and say, okay, when these trillion-dollar companies are breaking out to all-time new highs, forget the rest of the market, forget these slower cap. Money's piling into those top caps. Like it's happened before, but people are not. They're underexposed to it. Whatever the reason, if it's AI or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's in a way, it's like crypto, where it doesn't matter, and you're just going with the biggest that received the best money flow. Here's another one in terms of the semis. NVIDIA. And we talked about this, so why we thought this would go to the 886, and it's there. All-time 886. We could even trace out kind of a shark pattern on this, which I will do right now. And there's your 886. It's not quite. Almost 325. 325 on this move. And you can translate that to other things, other semis. Here's Taiwan semi. I think this one is in a great spot. All right, maybe a little bit late because you're bumping this week, but 84.45 on Taiwan semi, ideal. I mean, it's almost a perfect type 2. It got really close to target 1, but regardless, I still say you're 92. That thing trades over 100 soon. Yeah, talk about FOMO, Evan. People are going to be jumping off the sidelines before they know it. And I mean, S&P right now is just hanging tough and trying to make that run at 4,200. As soon as it busts through 4,200, people are going to have to give up. One more, two more. Applied Materials, another one. It's a beautiful pattern right there on the weekly and just acting strong. Actually, this should have been the end of the type 1 at 125. I want to see what happens on the follow through because, look, if that follows through above 130, which it's doing in ideal fashion in terms of how it should break out, you shoot that gap to the 886. Sorry, that's 157. So you get the picture. Like 15, 20% moves in a lot of these. That's a good one. That's a good one. Who said that? Nerd Herd. What's up, Nerd Herd? Tesla. Yeah, we haven't looked at that yet, but I think we have things in Tesla. So we know it's a weekly. But here's the daily. So you tell me. We have a shark and it's a type 2. We're just dealing with this counter trend HSI signal that happened last week. That's why we really can't blast off. I think we'll get to 188. Will we do it by, like, say, tomorrow expiration? I don't think so. I think it'll take some more time. But Tesla does, it's printing a pattern. It's 2 of 2. And with everything else, even if it's still in a downtrend, I think down here at the 170, you're looking for that to at least go to target 188. And you got a pattern there. No doubt. I mean, you want patterns like that to launch off of. Here's something that we've featured before. It was a 3 ideas. Now it's right back. It's a 2 of 2, smaller semi called Tower Semi. Well, look at this. It's 2 of 2 of 2 of 2. You know, bat pattern, retesting, all of that around 40, 50. The prior crab, okay? Pretty high level too, but $40. You know, there's a lot of those. There are a lot of those that are setting up. Hold on. One moment. Great, thanks. And let me go back to someone said Qualcomm, and this is one I said look for after earnings, and it went through our bigger numbers, but I'm still looking at it. Look, Qualcomm and a lot of these that were overdone. Look, I think if they hold here, even though they look terrible, they do have patterns. Where's the Qualcomm pattern? There it is. It 105. Sorry, the shark pattern was what, 111? Oh yeah, we were looking at like 111 to 113, and it just shot right through there. Couple of patterns here, 112, 115 area. What's the other thing that was off of here? It's a big bat pattern too. We do have a dot down here, but this one, I'm still looking at that. I haven't done anything on that one, but some of these others have done some impressive moves. Here's 3 ideas from way back when. This is Datadog. And it's a similar multi-pattern tech deal. Got crushed 60, 70, 80%. And in that 68, 65 level, we had a bunch of patterns down here. That's 93. I'm going to flash a few really quick so you guys can just pick up on these. Snowflake, that's a little late. That thing's starting to run way too much. There was another one. I think it was Wolf Speed. Yeah, okay, there's another one where just starting to look at this. Some confirmation, couple patterns, 42 area. Still looking. And this also, someone last week mentioned Cloudflare Net. And boy, that thing has just rocketed. Check out these patterns on Cloudflare. So, I mean, it was 43 was that number. Now 56, but all right. Maybe we get a 1 and come back for a 2, maybe $45. I know it sounds crazy at the moment, but let's just, you know, get it on the radar. Boy, Netflix. Look, let's do on Netflix really quick. So here's something on Netflix, and the second time it skunked me this year. But I had a bunch of options 2 or 3 days ago down here at the 330s and the 335s. And this is what I'm alluding to when I was saying I need to start holding on to some options that work out. I scratched that position, and I should have held some into Friday expiration. I had the Fridays. That's a monster. That was a 10x move. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to show you guys the option contracts, what they did on this little shakeout day. We'll save that for Tuesday. But you get the picture here. All right, get the big mega cap tech on your radar and start targeting these. Some of the other ones that have moved, aggressively already, a little late, but others are going to play catch up. The other one was, sorry, what was the other one? One second. Oh, Airbnb. So that got clocked on earnings. That's up big today. Dang it. Back here on the daily. So almost flushed down to $100. There's a major type 2 at 91 if we get down there. And it would be a lot like a lot of the ones that did a type 2 last October. And that would end up being, for me, I would look at that as kind of a potential major low after doing quite a bit of consolidation. But get Airbnb on there. One other one that KLAC on daily, look at these patterns down here. So KLAC, sorry. Oh, wait, that's Lithium America. I should come back to that anyway. Here's KLAC. About to break out to all-time highs. I'm not saying chase that. I'm saying watch that. Because this is one of the leaders. And yeah, this had a weekly pattern down there, a type 2. But the other thing I've noticed, like the Qs, like SPY, many of these generated high-level continuation signals, and they're responding strongly, aggressively. KLAC, that'll break out. And so the things that are doing that are threatening that. I'm looking for 5-minute patterns. And this was something that caught my eye just the other day. Sorry. Here you go, 5-minute. Gartley patterns, high-level Gartley patterns like this. Crab patterns that, within the trend. Start looking for those. I've been featuring a bunch of those in the Discord. But I think they give you phenomenal option opportunities. These are the kind of plays that you do go with for options. Yeah, look at TSM. I like Tower Semi, but Taiwan Semi. And another one that has yet to really go that we talked about last time, but just a quick update, BABA. Okay, that's coming back down for what I think is a big retest. 83, what is it? No, 77, sorry. Looking for a retest here of 77. And the big deal, we'll talk about this next week, is there's the weekly confirmation check back. And that's at 85.90 area. You need one more weekly candle to go green for that to have confirmation. So a lot of these big movers are back from the dead, and we could see a really fun summer where you're playing call options, wait for those 5-minute setups, and use your daily, weekly time frames to say, hey, these have a shot to go to target 1, whatever they are. And if they've blown out target 1, look for target 2s. You're in a really nice spot. Now, before I go much further or jump to crypto, we got to talk energy, because who loves Boyle? I used to love Boyle. Well, we got some numbers, triggers. I mentioned this on, I think it was Monday. I talked to this in the Discord. We just have a dot. This is natural gas. A lot of people have been asking me about this. I think somewhere in the $3, you can start hitting that. Nat gas, also UNG, the ETF, it got a yellow dot 2-3 days ago, and look at this butterfly. So I would say I prefer UNG, folks. But if you're looking for something that's just starting to develop, start getting on UNG, Nat gas, Boyle. They gave us confirmation 2-3 days ago. We're in the 5-bar window. Finally. Finally. I mean, that's the first confirmation we've seen, and we're to the right of the downtrend. That's a heck of a lot better spot than before. My subscribers, I'll give everybody one of my picks for my subscribers. Look, Chevron, right now, as we speak, is at the hop level of this Gartley with, we got the yellow dot yesterday. So we're looking for a 2 of 2 right now, where 152.47 on Chevron should be the limit. And I'm going to see if we can get some follow through tomorrow. Let's see if we stabilize down here. Okay, we've been targeting the hop the whole time, anywhere under 153. And again, yesterday we just got the confirmation we've been looking for. That's at 154. So 152.47, 154 area generally. You're a smidge underneath there. You could even wait for a 3-bar reversal if you wanted to be a little more patient on this, because it's a type 2, target 2, looking for 177. Still just looking, but check out, I'm going to fire a couple of energy stocks to be considering. Here's Marathon Oil. It's a type 2 deep crab. Really close. I mean, I think this was exact. Yeah, 2264. 2164. The XA level is 2165. I just don't have any confirmation yet. So, it's a really close call on that one, but there are a few others. Check out Valero, which is usually, a really strong trender. And this is probably going to be another 3 ideas. I think Valero is another stock where it's on a long-term uptrend. You want to be buying it on pullbacks like this. Basically, 107, maybe as low as 102. And then look at the long-term trend. That's some probably the best opportunity really in a year to pick up on that. And Valero is a refiner, so that's, a better spot in the energy sector. You're looking for that thing to stabilize on this trend line. You're down here somewhere in the low 100s, and then for that to continue long term. One or two more of these, what I think are pretty choice energy plays. They're not going to be, your super high flyers, but here's ConocoPhillips daily. There you go. Bat pattern, and it's a type 2. Off the top, software's kicking it out. I think it's maybe down at $93, but you're very close. Yeah, listen, guys, this just started about a day ago. A lot of these just triggered literally yesterday. But it's certainly with the nat gas turnaround and those signals, I'm paying attention. Here's XLE, type 2 deep crab, right? Those are the kind that we want to see. Now, what's the only thing we need? Because there's your type 1 up to target 2 with perfect confirmation up there at 86.35. And now, right back down to the XA level on the type 2 return. Where's my confirmation? Because that's what we're looking for down here. Maybe we're a touch early. Maybe this comes as low as 72, but it's definitely under 76.45. You're 78 right now. It's probably something for next week, but I think a lot of people are not looking at energy because it hasn't done much. But you're 2 of 2 across the board. A couple more stocks, and I want to get over to crypto. Anybody here in Miami for the conference? If so, welcome. BTC Miami this weekend. I'm on injured reserve at the moment. I'm not doing anything. Here's Lemonade. Someone just requested that. Yeah, some nice patterns. All reactions. Give me a type 2. Target 2. There's the weekly. Lemonade. This is another one where, hey, like crypto, It's a T stock. All right, 90% off its all-time high. Is there a bottom there? Let me show you two or three more that's exactly like that. So Zoom video, is this an opportunity, folks? I'm got my eye on it. But how many times has that popped off of 65? Several. Still like it, but it's just, I think you have to be patient with it. Roku, talked about that last time. Again, another one is super long term. I think this is a daily. Oh, this is a better one. Roku, I now remember. There's a shark pattern right now on Roku. Any confirmation? Not yet. But that could be a nice little 50 to 60 bump. I do like that. I do like Roku. We'll have to look at that on Tuesday. And what's the other one? Teledoc. Back down at 25. But here, bat pattern 2 of 2. And the last two patterns both gave you a 20% bump. So right there, back down for 2. Another one, back down. So, go to 23 and then back to 27. Why not? You've done it 4 times in a row in the past year. Keep an eye on that one. I don't think these are bad ones, but I think there's others that are, you're looking for more progressed trends. Like here's Shopify, okay? This thing is broken out. It's a deep crab. It's already gotten you away from it. But look, if this is going to recover the bear trend, it's flashing a deep crab right now. I would love to see this pull back pretty hard to like 49, give me a deep crab correction, and then go. And then really rock it. Another one that's taking off that we've talked about, Palantir. That's got some big daily, weekly. Look at that, 1141. Wow, that's some big patterns down there. $6. I know this has got a weekly, like an all-time 886. That's even bigger. That's a big move today. There's a 3-bar breakout, and then some. What about these AI stocks? A couple of these AI stocks. Here's one. Here's a couple. So here's just the AI, C3 AI. I think that's one of the bigger ones people are been talking about. Not a heck of a lot down here, but I'm looking. I said that before. I'm looking at things like this because they seem to have done a nice correction, pulling back. Go to the 4-hour time frame. I had something down here. It was on a 4-hour or it was an hourly. Oh, it was this. It was back. We had a butterfly down here on that last correction, like $18, $20. Well, now 26, 27. But a few of those that I've mentioned before, this other one, BBAI, these are speculative, folks, but that's down on a perfect type 2 of a bat pattern we talked about before. Not huge, but that's the other reason why those other ones are running. The whole AI phenomenon, but those are micro cap considerations. Here's another one, this POAI, pretty much predictive oncology. What was this one? Maybe I forget what that was. Maybe that wasn't it. Was it CXAI? And he pretty much give me 2 letters and AI, and and we'll look at it. CXAI. That was the crazy one I mentioned before. There you go. CXAI. This is a new one. I told you guys what happened. This one caught my eye because I've been looking at AI since really March, and I caught this one from 270 to 330, and it went to $68 the next day in the pre-market. But now, yeah, you have another verifiable bat pattern. So I'm looking at that. Again, don't go crazy on these, but I find them interesting. They could catch a bid and rip up to target one, target two. I can look at metals really quick. We got to get to crypto, but I think you have to speculate, and you got to keep your eye on stuff that's things that are moving and running, because I think it opens up opportunities here with the market in the position it's in. You're going to get stuff to move over the next few months, more than meme stocks for sure. Let me look at metals really quick, and then Daniel's got a few here that you're pumping, that you always have some good stuff. So I know you do your homework, man. Here's XAG. Let's go XAU. Good old Philadelphia floor. That was really something. On the floor in Philadelphia in 1988. Hey, that's a type 2. We're in a pullback, but we know rates are overdone. That's why that's doing what it's doing. Rates are overdone. That's why. So I think really it's all about gold. The rest of them, sorry, aren't that important. And gold's got a couple things at 2050. Yeah, it's a shark. It's a retest of this crab pattern. And so I think I mentioned this before, that 1833 could still be in a massive uptrend on the verge of a massive breakout. And yeah, this is actually what I said last time on gold. And let's keep that there. You're in a type 1 off that shark. But if I do recall saying this shark could lead to a 5-0 pattern. And 5-0s are not that common, but this is a perfect setup there where you go and you rocket to a 1618 off of that. Absolutely. Yep. Keep an eye on gold, but I think we're going to get another opportunity on it, and I think it's going to set up for massive continuation. And gold will probably happen later in the year. Makes sense, because I think 2024 is going to just basically rip it entirely. 2024 is going to be a strong year, folks, and I think leading into it, this year is probably anticipating next year already. But with gold, we'll break out to new all-time highs, but after the 5-0, then we clean it up. I mean, you're back-to-back. Look at how many patterns you've gone back-to-back on this, so it's not going to be a surprise we do some kind of reaction off yet another pattern. Reaction here. That's actually a type 2 shark. You reacted off of this bat pattern. Yeah, I'll 1833, tag it. Tag it 1833 for sure. Couple of more. That's fine on gold. I'll show you that lithium chart. Lithium Americas, we should be thinking about stuff like that. I think, again, you're going to get into this speculative phase, and if it's semiconductors, or if it's lithium miners, or if it is gold miners, you're going to get into this inflationary environment again. Rates are going to come down. Again, we talked about that. Why not just show it really quick? And this is helpful because I think it gives people a better understanding of maybe the why. Okay, why is the market going up or down? Well, primarily rates drive it, but the harmonics behind it, where we know stuff like, okay, the top right here, that recent top was at a 1618 exactly. And we're in the midst of a 1618 reaction where even a 382 here gets you back to 3%. And that's the 2-year. And the 10-year, we've got a weekly pattern. And structurally, right there you go. Okay, we're sitting at a high level where 369 is pretty much the ceiling, 4%. Big psychological level. We should be back to 2.28% eventually as this thing kind of falls apart. That's the reason we're going to get that to come together, where rates are going to roll over, and then maybe that's where gold runs and the markets really start to rip. So we haven't seen rates come off yet, but when this full type 1 reaction is realized and it breaks the obvious lows and breaks down, it's going to be a critical breakdown. And that's probably what's happening with crypto too. You probably need the rates to get looser and roll over for crypto to move. So let's jump to crypto, because who's scared? Who's afraid of the big crypto? Again, anybody that's here in Miami, welcome for the Bitcoin conference. Have fun. I was there 2 years ago. I think it's fun to be there, go there at least once. But, I think the whole Bitcoin condition of where we are currently is at a high level consolidation at 27,000. That hasn't changed. And we have 1, 2. Now, a second HSI. Can we get another yellow dot? We should in 2 more days. But 27,000 on the daily is the big number. And then we said the 4-hour time frame looks like this. A bunch of patterns. Bat pattern off the top. It's a type 2 bat. There's a crab pattern. Puts the floor, essentially, should not violate that pattern. Should not see that under 25,357, although that's stretching it a little bit more than I want. But Bitcoin holding. Bitcoin holding so far. It's just that it's not doing what people wanted to do it, but hey, it needs to hold 27 generally. Number 2 on our list, which is Ethereum 1800. You got to be happy with that for now. And these daily HSI signals that came in, they have to hold up here. 1800 needs to hold. I don't want to see that thing take out any more lows. I'm watching that closely. Probably feel a little bit better about Bitcoin than Ethereum at the moment, because if Ethereum doesn't hold 1800, there's, you're still in an uptrend, but you're going to come back probably to this target 1 off the shark as low as 1600, and I don't want to see that. I want to see this be a high level bullish continuation, and you go back and go retest that zone. Number 3, Binance Coin. That did have a pattern on the daily, and there's a handful of these that are forming patterns off of the most recent corrective move. Where'd it go? Maybe that was a 4-hour. Yeah, it was a 4-hour chart. There you go. It's a deep crab. 306 is a critical number. There it is. 305, let's call it. And we should see that 305 retest, hold, and go. Another one where you don't want to see that under 296, but that's okay. Still in a decent spot. Number 4, XRP, I guess. Still nothing. We're going to have to take off XRP until it does stuff again. But there you go, holding the 41 cent. And yeah, we had a couple patterns at 41, 43, 46. Still doesn't matter. I mean, doesn't, I think anywhere 40 to 50, because you're trying to go to 90. Number 5, it's either going to be Cardano or Cosmos, but there's Cardano, the 4-hour chart, nothing huge here. I wouldn't expect that anything other than a 10% 20% reaction. Go up 3 to 6 cents from here. But just trade it. You're not buying to hold anything right now. Or, you know, Cosmos. And I'm still going to wait for, like Cardano, I'm going to wait for the daily retest. So get me 2 of 2, retest the Gartley at $9. That's the preferred scenario. I have the patience to not FOMO on that one. I think there's a lot of other opportunities where unless that comes together, I can wait. Now, again, let's go quickly review the other ones that are the poster children of this most recent pattern phenomenon. Gala, folks, 2.879 was our hop targeted with confirmation at that low at 2.88. That got as high as 320 and still a go. I mean, that's really nice. One second. Hold on. Hold up. 1 second. I got to do something here. Okay, great. I think that's going to take time to develop, but there's several of these that, not that I have any preferential order in this, but they all do have the same conditions of a type 2. Here's Doge, and this one did a Gartley on the retest of the shark. So, hey, I think at a minimum, you go to 8.2, 8.3, and then come back again. But it did retest exactly where we said. Take that as an example because, you know, next time you want to FOMO and you can understand it's the first time or second time, you're not FOMOing up here at 9 when you know it's got to come back. And that's the same deal on Doge. Algo. Let me finish the ones that are ideal, and then I'll get into a couple requests. But here's Algo. 17.5 cents. All right, we just trying to put in a daily HSI. That kind of bothers me. This might be a scratch. All right, and I'm not too happy with at 17.5. It dumped to 15.8. This really should be taking off here, so I'm going to watch that. I might scratch that out and wait to get back in at a later time. Really quick, hold on. Hold on. One or two more of those. Here's a new one. Ape. Now again, don't care what it is, but you've got patterns. You're retesting support. You got back-to-back shark patterns. Essentially 320. You do have confirmation. And this is another one that minimum go to target 1 is 475. So just think of it as a percentage move of 30, 40, maybe 50% on that move. Hey, Riesly, we already did gold. Please go back about 10 or 15 minutes. Really, we just did let you know we're looking for a pullback in gold to 1833. A couple more. On the crypto anchor, here's one. Been looking at this for a while. This one, it's got another high level pattern. It's retesting the bat, but didn't it do a shark? Where's that other shark? Oh, it's another bat pattern down here. But all right, pretty good. Then there's another one. Oh, I like these, and they're down there. Compound. all the way, got finally all the way back down there. I mean, we've been talking about this since it was in the 50s to come back to the 30 area, 35. I would want to see a yellow dot, and that's on a retest of the 34, 37 level. But you're right in there. You're in that 3 to 5 bar window. Do not take your eye off of that one or Zcash. These are all ideal harmonic levels that, hey, a week ago when we were here, didn't seem like a lot of fun. These seemed like they were going straight to the bucket, but they were able to hold. There's your type 2 on Zcash, a crab pattern. 3440 is the level. Confirmation is about, it's slightly lower, around 3250. I like those. I like those for the first time after talking about them for a while. A couple more. Ethereum Classic. Someone's asking for that. Again, we got two things going on. You got a big ABCD right off the top, and you got an XA level at 1625. You were as low as 1768. I'm thinking it's between, those two numbers, 17. I think 17 is a good number to focus on. Also, remember there's a weekly butterfly on Ethereum Classic, and this is probably, if I can get it up, there you go. There's the right chart to post up there on the screen with big secondary retest of this long-term butterfly pattern. I'm looking for this range. Now you got a hop level at 1325. Your main XA level is 20. It's obviously under 20. I think it's more like 17 or 16 within this range not to break the hop. Could be a time thing too, because look, Ethereum Classic on the weekly, if that could get oversold, like let's say that drops from 18 to 16 and gets oversold on the weekly, that's going to be a major confirmation there. I mean, absolutely immense. Keep an eye on that. I mean, some have already retested a bit early. Others, are hitting now and they look good. One or two more of things we've talked about previously that patterns. Here's another one, Ethereum name server with a big bat pattern. This is kind of like algo, and I'm going to wait to see on this. We're looking at this around 10 to 11. It's 1033. The 886 is around 1135. And, a couple other numbers down here. Essentially, $10 is your big measured level you want to be considering. I just don't have anything. I wish that would have triggered down there around 950. I think $10. I think if you get under 10 again, start looking at it. And the weekly, isn't there something down here on the weekly? Not yet. Not yet. We'll see. I'm watching that one because if it doesn't do much, then it's probably scratch it back at 11 or 11:30. But there's patterns. Art saying Ethereum Classic looks scary good. It does look good from a perspective. It is a type 2. You've got confirmation, and it's coming together. It might just take time. What was the other one? Somebody wanted to see H bar. That was the one I haven't talked about. This has got some patterns that were right back at 5. It was a shark down there at 5 cents. And okay, this is it. I remember we've talked about H bar. Looking somewhere around this, was that 580, 5.8 cents to around 6 cents, somewhere down there. You're at 5.2 currently. Another one that's probably needs time, but that's a massive pattern. That's a lot like VE chain. Keep an eye on that. And hold on. One second. Okay, good. Hex. Okay, somebody wants to look at Hex. I listen. I don't know. I don't understand Hex. I don't know what's going on with all this current noise. There is a lot of noise. It is at back at a pattern, and I think again that's the only reason why I'm talking about this is because it's such a mystery to me that I can only explain it to you from a pattern perspective. That if you wanted to buy Hex, well then you've just retested that area for the first time where it matters, but it's not ready. It hasn't triggered anything. I don't know about the switchover or whatever this other stuff is. But in terms of crypto harmonics, we've been talking about the potential return since it hit 9 cents, that it had to come back to 3.8. And it got as low as 2 on this move, 1.9. Let that be just a real warning signal that if you have a recognizable type 1, type 2, and you're in a type 1 situation where, look, if you think that's going to moon and you have to retest, it's very unlikely. Here's where the retest should happen, but I'm just not, again, I don't, there's probably 100 other cryptos I would look at before this. But as an example of the crypto price action, really take it to heart. One or two more. I think this OP tether. What was that? Wasn't that a 4-hour bat pattern down here? I don't think so. A bunch of those AI stocks did really come back. Here's that render once again, folks. I'm not going to take my eye off this render. This one is tradable. I said that yesterday. And look, 165 back to 230 again. It bounces back around. Maybe it comes back down to 165 again. I don't know what this is, but I do find it interesting. It just ping-ponging. One or two more. Here's this, I think, waves. Yeah, this was another high flyer, and this one has come almost all the way back. Almost a full 886 off the early December move, and I think there was a weekly. Yeah, this is at a weekly 886. Let me see here. I'm looking at a lot of these that did the big move from January. Did 2, 3, 5x like that, and now they're coming back all the way back. Here's this Veracity. It's another one. Did a big move. I would think maybe come back to your 886. I mean, that was at 0.2 of a penny, but now looks like it's going to come do a full retracement all the way back. Don't know. That's the other one. Fetch. Yes, Fetch. That's, I think, 22 cents. We were looking for that. You do have a daily HSI that's triggered. There's your weekly chart. But what is some were 4-hour charts. Others were, I'm pretty sure this was, where's the pattern? Maybe that wasn't it. AGIX. You guys get the picture down here. Massive spike off the low. That's a 12x. Now you've come back 50%. And it's actually a type 2 off of that crab pattern. So AGIX at 22.5 cents, 23 cents. That could be one. Yeah, there you go. I'm not yet. I'm just looking at these though right now. Things that have done this. Because hey, if they're going to run again, you're looking for the retracement on that next run. I would say maybe by next week we could take a look at these. Crazy. Couple of more. Let's look at here's a basic attention token. Another one we know it's got big weekly patterns, and here's two of two. 20.9 cents. It's a perfect type 2 crab that hit the level, what's that, 7 days ago, 8 days ago? And no confirmation yet. Actually, some bearish coming in. So just watching that. I'm waiting for these perfect setups, by the way. Two of two with confirmation. Don't want to jump. Even if I miss it, that's fine. I prefer to get that confirmation. Here's another one we've talked about recently that's a big pattern off the low, off the year. This is exactly the kind of situation where you had a big move up. This is Axie Infinity. There's your 886. All around, I think we've been looking at that at 723 were some other numbers. We looked at that, and this is an 886 right at 677. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's big. That's big. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. And then the other one was Avalanche. Not as good on a retest right now. Where'd that go? Here it is. So look at that. Avalanche weekly, another massive bat pattern retesting the lows. But again, this is where you want to be looking for on the retest of that weekly structure. What's there on the daily? Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Same pattern on the daily. But these are, at least you got patterns looking left. They've just basing for a while. If you're looking for entries on things like that, you get down to these lower support levels, $12, $13 for that one. Axie Infinity, this one's ideal. That's the kind of situation I've been talking about for the last couple of sessions. Really important. Okay. Hold on 1 second, folks. 1 second. All right, couple more. Take a look at the total crypto market cap. Probably a good time to look at that because we need to see that thing move. Here's total crypto. I've been saying it needs to hold $1 trillion. Pattern perspective wise, you have some signals like Bitcoin and Ethereum at a high level. You need to see this hold and psychologically above the 1 trillion level and get above 1.2, 1.3. Total 3 is the one I'm really focused on because weekly pattern, massive shark, and you're like the rest of them, you're just coming back down to retest this support. Hopefully get another trigger off of that retest, but on your daily, what's happened is you have stalled out and you're not making any progress above that type 2 bearish pattern. It's pretty clear that until we can break out, that's a concern for the altcoins. Really need to see that open up, and you need to see total crypto market cap get above the recent peaks, the recent highs. Otherwise, probably not going to do much. Although I would think everyone's going to start talking about Bitcoin halving very soon. Keep an eye on that one. I like that. So listen, let's circle it back. Let's go to the QQQ. That's your new #1 chart in the whole wide world. Okay. We're looking for current rally to keep going up to these targets as high as 338, maybe 345. We're almost there, overbought on a few metrics, but you're early and you're just seeing acceleration phase, folks. That's why it's doing what it's doing. It's been pretty remarkable stuff, but this is late stage. I would think a couple more sessions we would hit these targets and begin to stall out. For right now, a couple things that I was mentioning. We started today looking at Meta, and that's gone up quite a bit. For right now, yeah, look, our last 5-minute QQQ signal, another high-level HSI. So, look at 334, 335 here. Retest here. That should be a continuation into the rest of the day, into the rest of the afternoon. What's the 30-second thing? Any patterns here? You had a little micro shark. Keep an eye on that one though. Again, 5-minute time frame is your friend, and all of the things we talked about when we started today. This is exactly the kind of thing you want to look for. High level yellow dot just triggered as our midday dot. We should get us to new highs. That were the cues. Here's the SPY. Beautiful crab right on the 5-minute, but it's a type 1. And again, knowing the framework really helps. So I would look at it like this. There's your type 1, and there's confirmation. That's the end of the early reaction. So this 416 should get us back to 418 on the return by the close, maybe. Yeah, where are you? Yeah, you could rally 2. That's a heck of a move. Yeah. But that's how we're moving. That's where we are currently with this market, especially being on the verge of really busting out of some major resistance. So I'm still favoring the 5-minute mega tech bullish retracement, bullish patterns, bullish HSIs. All right. We'll do more of this. Look, sorry about the not having the options, but that will definitely be working on Tuesday. My gold members, you guys will like it. We will start on Monday for our gold session. Then, speaking of gold, let's give away one more gold membership. Next person to type in gold, please, only if you have not won already. You get a gold membership. And go to Harmonic Trader, people. Become a basic member. And everything that I've been talking about, especially the framework, is available on the basic members page for free. Daniel, you win. Other Daniel S., you got me interested on Tilray, but let's save that for next time. I'm sure there's enough time on those. But guys, go to Get with the TradingView program and send your full name to get set up with TradingView at hpc@sr-analyst.com. And I will be working with eSignal on Tuesday. So if you want to get along with that, you have to sign up and pay for that data, but you can get a free trial. You get the program from us, you get the data from them. All right, if you have any questions, get to us on the Discord. Okay, everybody, been a great time, great session. Love to see the markets where they are. It's better than being in a ditch. So come on back on Tuesday. All of you crazy Bitcoiners, welcome to Miami. Have a fun, safe weekend. Everyone else, we'll see you Tuesday. Thanks again. Go get them.